The Nexus armor stood in the center of the Galactic Museum's main hall, suspended in a containment field that shimmered like liquid starlight. For 3 centuries, it had remained there, untouchable, unwearable, unconquerable. Every species in the Confederation had tried to claim it. All had failed. Commander Marcus Torres stood before the ancient relic, his weathered face reflecting the armor's ethereal glow. Behind him, Ambassador Krell's tentacles writhed nervously, their bioluminescent tips pulsing with anxiety. The builders created it as the ultimate defense, Krell explained, his translated voice carrying undertones of reverence. Legends say it could make its wearer invincible, able to survive in any environment, heal from any wound. But there's something about its neural interface. It rejects everyone who tries. Marcus studied the armor with keen interest. It appeared almost organic, its surface covered in intricate patterns that seemed to shift when viewed peripherally. What happens when someone attempts to wear it? Death, usually, Krell replied bluntly. The lucky ones merely suffer permanent neural damage. The armor's consciousness, and yes, it is conscious, evaluates each candidate instantaneously. It finds them all lacking. The human commander stepped closer to the containment field. Around the hall, dozens of alien species went about their business, but several paused to watch. Humans were still newcomers to the galactic stage, having joined the Confederation only 5 years prior. Their reputation for unpredictability had already become legendary. You said consciousness, Marcus mused. Not programming, not AI, consciousness. The distinction matters to your species? Krell's chromatic skin shifted to purple, confusion. The armor thinks, evaluates, chooses. What else would you call it? Marcus smiled grimly. Where I come from, we'd call it lonely. Before Krell could respond, Marcus reached out and pressed his palm against the containment field. Alarms shrieked instantly. Security forces from 6 different species converged on their position, weapons drawn. Stand down, Krell commanded, his rank as ambassador carrying weight. The field will hold. The field collapsed. Marcus's hand touched the armor's surface, and the entire museum fell silent. The armor's patterns began moving faster, swirling like a hurricane of light beneath his fingers. Then, impossibly, it began to move. The armor flowed like liquid metal, crawling up Marcus's arm. He didn't scream. He didn't convulse. He simply stood there, eyes closed, as the ancient technology enveloped him completely. Impossible, someone whispered in Vraxian. The sentiment echoed in a dozen languages throughout the hall. When the transformation completed, Marcus opened his eyes, now glowing with the same ethereal light as the armor itself. He flexed his fingers experimentally, watching the armor respond like a second skin. How? Krell demanded, his coloration cycling through the entire spectrum of disbelief. What makes humans different? Marcus turned to face the ambassador, and when he spoke, his voice carried harmonics that hadn't been there before. You all tried to dominate it, to prove yourselves worthy through strength, intelligence, or willpower. He paused, placing a hand over his chest where a heart would beat. But this armor wasn't looking for a master. It was looking for a partner. The revelation rippled through the crowd. 300 years of the galaxy's best minds had approached the armor as a tool to be wielded, a prize to be claimed. They'd never considered it might be something else entirely. Humans have a saying, Marcus continued, the armor's patterns pulsing in rhythm with his words. The strongest bonds aren't forged through conquest, but through understanding. We don't just use our tools, we name them, talk to them, treat them as extensions of ourselves. This armor isn't a weapon, it's a symbiont. And after 3 centuries of rejection, he smiled. It was desperate enough to take a chance on a species crazy enough to offer partnership instead of dominion. As Marcus walked through the museum, the crowd parting before him, Krell noticed something remarkable. The armor wasn't just protecting the human, it was learning from him, adapting, evolving. And Marcus, in turn, moved with a grace that suggested he was learning too. Perhaps that was humanity's true gift to the galaxy. the audacity to see potential friends where others saw only tools.